Hey guys, and welcome back to another chapter of Drenched, written by Stacey Holt. As for my voice actors, Diz will be voicing Cat Noir, Adrien, and Felix. I'll be voicing Marinette, Ladybug, and the Narrator. Please don't hesitate to check out my voice actors down below, and why not give a like, comment, and subscribe? Anyways, back to chapter 3. They walked out of Adrien's room and met up with Felix downstairs. They were met with his cold gaze, causing Marinette to feel a little awkward. She never told Adrien that Felix pretended to be Adrien and tried to kiss her, though she imagined she would cross that bridge when they got there. Well, he didn't try to kiss her as Marinette. He tried to kiss her as Ladybug.
Hey, Felix!
Adrien smiled, about to give him a hug.
Don't even think about it.
He said, stopping him before he even got a little bit closer.
Oh, right. You don't like hugs. I'll try and remember that.
He said, rubbing the back of his neck. Felix looked over at Marinette and smirked. Walking over to her, he leaned down, giving her a gentle hug. Hello, Felix? Marinette said, a little unexpectedly.
Nice to officially meet you. I wanted to say sorry personally for how I acted 2 years ago. I was rather foolish and dumb,
he said. She looked at Adrien and saw him nod to her in approval. She then hugged Felix back wearily. She let him go and smiled nervously, still a little awkward at the physical contact that he made with her, but didn't with his own cousin. Don't worry about it, she smiled, making Felix give a slight smile in return. Adrien opened the front door and watched Felix and Marinette pass him as they walked outside, waving Mullally goodbye as he shut the door behind them. The bodyguard started the car and pulled the car around, waiting for them to get in. He looked at them, waiting for them to tell him where to go.
Where do you want to go first, Felix?
Adrien asked, but Felix remained quiet. Marinette looked at Adrien and frowned, then smiled awkwardly. Why don't we go to the school? Since we have school tomorrow anyway, Marinette offered.
That would be lovely, Marinette,
Felix said, opening the door to the car and letting her in first. Marinette swallowed, wondering if it was just her that sensed the awkward tension between him and Adrien. If Felix didn't have anything against Adrien, she feared the worst. How he was reacting to her and his first reaction to her as Ladybug? Could he know her identity? Or does he like her? He knows that she and Adrien are dating, though. Would he do that to his cousin? She would keep quiet. She wouldn't worry Adrien about such little bothersome thoughts that probably didn't matter to begin with. She was simply overthinking it. It wasn't like Felix could separate them anyhow. Her and Adrien had an inseparable bond. They were Ladybug and Cat Noir after all.
We're here,
Adrien said, opening the car door. We're here? Marinette said, stepping out. She must have zoned out. She hadn't even realized that they had left his home. Though he didn't live very far from school anyhow. Adrien closed the door behind Marinette and smiled, seeing Felix roll his eyes, almost in disgust, but he brushed it off.
Come on. We'll show you where our class is,
Adrien said, walking up toward the school.
Are?
Felix asked, following. Yeah, we'll all be in the same class, Marinette smiled.
Oh,
Felix said, a little surprised to see that Marinette would also be in his class. Marinette and Adrien showed Felix the locker rooms and where his locker would be, as well as where they usually hang out in the middle before classes began. Then they showed Felix where their classes were, though they had no idea where he would be sitting, so they had no information to give besides where the class would be held. Felix didn't really talk much and remained quiet, which made the air around them a little awkward, but they figured it was because he was new. He moved schools and didn't know anyone. Of course, he would be a little shy. That's normal, right? They wouldn't push him or try to make him angry because he did this for Adrien's sake after all, when he could have clearly said he wanted to stay in London. Which was weird. Why was he so quick to accept the move to Paris to begin with? Adrien figured he would ask him later, but it was getting dark and decided to drop Marinette off at home before it got too late. They arrived outside of her home right before sunset. I'll see you in the morning then, Marinette smiled.
Yeah. Text you later?
Adrien said, a little awkward with Felix listening into their conversation. Sure. She smiled. I'll see you in the morning too. Felix, it was nice seeing you again. She smiled, waving them both goodbye before disappearing into her home. Adrien rolled his window up and his bodyguard started toward their own home.
No goodbye kiss.
Felix groaned, almost disgusted.
No?
Adrien turned, looking at Felix.
So she lives at a bakery? What happened with you loving that one superhero?
Felix said.
Ladybug?
Adrien said, a little offended.
Yeah. Didn't you have a really big crush on her or something? I did. And that's all it was. Like any 14-year-old would. We're 16 years old, Felix.
Adrien sighed. Felix sighed, obviously not convinced. The car ride back to their home was silent and still tense. Dinner at the table was awkward, and when they were finished eating, Adrien returned to his room while Felix went to his. Adrien pulled out his phone and texted Marinette, a little worried about Felix being there.
I need to talk to you privately about Felix tomorrow. Good night, princess.
Same. Good night, my kitty.